Hey YouTube. So I made a TikTok earlier. Oh, there's a butterfly. But anyway, I made a TikTok earlier talking about how I thought that when men and women are like the same in terms of like pervertedness. And I really think that that is true. Like as a woman myself, I feel like I'm pretty manly internally. And by that I mean really gross and perverted and like perverse and like high sex drive. Now, I don't think that's a problem, but, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of women out there that give men shit for that, but then they do it, but that's okay because they're a woman? No. It's not okay, girl. You better, you better check yourself. You better understand that men are just like you, and that's kind of scary, because, honestly, if a man was just like me, I'd be kind of scared, because I'm pretty gross. Like, inside, I'm disgusting. But nobody would ever know unless I actually, talked about it. But a lot of the stuff is, taboo topics. Like, topics that, you can't even really talk about openly. I mean, you could. And I might, on this channel by accident. Or I might hint around. But, in this world is very cruel. But everyone has these, intrusive thoughts, these thoughts we don't want to have about, whatever we're looking at. And I just feel like, sometimes it's just a thought. Like, it doesn't have to be that serious. It's like when you make it a serious problem is when it becomes a problem. Like, when you're paranoid about it. Is this normal? Is this okay? Like, am I abnormal? No. You just have a high sex drive. Like, you're looking at, a tree, and it looks like a pussy, and you want to fuck it. That's a high sex drive. I get it. Okay, and to say that women aren't like that is just false. Women are like that. Yeah, we are. And, men are like that, too. I know because on the internet, there's, jokes about, fucking, baby dolls and, whatever you, or just anything that looks like a pussy, or a ball of dough that looks like some cheeks. I get it. To say I don't get it is just wrong. To say that a man is the only one that thinks that is just wrong. Men be like that, women be like that too. Everybody be like that. And is that scary, men? Is that scary that women are like that too? Probably. It probably is pretty scary. And I'd agree with that. I'd agree that it's very scary. Because, oh, God, you're like me? You're disgusting. You're like me? I'm scared. You're constantly aroused? I am. I wish I wasn't. And I have, intrusive thoughts that I don't want to have. But doesn't everybody? And if you don't, well, your sex drive isn't high enough. It's not as high as mine. No, I'm not saying I'm some weird sex fiend. I have a high sex drive, but I don't do lots of sex. I'm not a whore or anything. It's just, my sex drive is extremely high. It's always doing something funky in there. You know what I'm saying? But, to say women aren't like that is just wrong. And to say that men and women are different, I think, in my opinion, in my personal experience, I think that's just wrong. Me, am I staring at a pair of jiggly cheeks in front of me and getting slightly aroused? Yes, I am. Okay? I'm not better than any man. Even when I'm with somebody, I have these feelings, and I expect, that my partner probably does too. Especially if they have a high sex drive. Does that bother me? Maybe a little, because I'm disgusting, So, why would it bother me? If I'm that gross, and my partner's that gross too, that's okay. As long as you're not so disgusting as to not care about my feelings, then we're fine. You can have those feelings. I'm not going to get mad at you, because I have those feelings. And yeah, it might be slightly scary, but I also realize that as a human being, I have a choice in what I do. And I feel if I care about somebody, I'm going to choose to care about their feelings, you know? And men are capable of that. I feel like a lot of the time women give men shit, and which is why they don't care, because I'm a woman and I've given men shit, and I understand that, you know, sometimes when you argue with a man too much, when you do that, they're not gonna like you, and they're not gonna care about your feelings, which leads to cheating, which leads to other things, more arguments, stuff like that. And it's normal. Like, don't like, if you care about somebody, you need to understand the power of forgiveness, and you need to understand that, you know, human beings have sex drives and they have feelings, you know. A lot of the times I feel like a man will go to another woman because she's being a fucking cunt, their partner's being a fucking cunt, and they don't want to deal with it. So they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go cheat on you, you fucking bitch. I don't blame you. Like, I really don't. Like, at the end of the day, why would I blame you for that? Like, your partner's a fucking cunt, you know. But I also, you know, if you don't care about her, why are you with her? Are you just after her vagina? You know, that might be it too. But I feel like that's something you gotta talk about with the person, and, you know, that way you can have an understanding of what it is, you know. Because, like, when I'm, you know, intimate with somebody, I try to communicate as much as I can to let them know, hey, this is what I want, this is what I'm after, you know, stuff like that, because I feel like that's important. That way you don't hurt people by accident, you know, because I've hurt people in the past when I was like 19, 20, 21. I was a cunt, okay? I know what it's like to be a cunt, because I was a cunt, and a lot of it was, I think some of it was like me and the people I was intimate with weren't like compatible with our personalities, plus I didn't want to care about their feelings, because in my head I was having like this thing where I thought I was like the only creature in existence kind of thing. I was going through some mental turmoil as well, but I feel like, I mean, it's not an excuse, but you know what I mean. Like, there's reasons people do things, you know, and you gotta either use the power of understanding and forgiveness, or just, you know, leave the situation. Like, I should have left the situation, I shouldn't have hurt those people, but, you know, shit happens. You learn from your past shit experiences, you learn from hurting others, you know. And then I was single for years because I said, well, I'm tired of the drama, I'm tired of hurting people, I don't want to hurt people anymore. So then I decided to stay single for a while, and then now I'm seeing somebody, and I feel like, you know, I'm using the power of forgiveness as much as I can, because, you know, those married couples that have been married for like 80 years, you think they haven't had some shit? Of course they have. Of course they've had shit. You don't go through 80 years without having shit. Like, there's always gonna be shit, you know. And it's like the power of compromise, the power of like forgiveness. And that's what makes love love, and that's why they're together still, is because they love each other enough to forgive each other for, you know, cheating or whatever they're doing. And that's beautiful. In my opinion, that's beautiful, because there's the people out there who have sex with their husband, and then they know their husband had an affair, and then they go back to their husband, and then they start yelling at him, all that, while having sex with him again. And it's like, girl, if you're gonna keep having sex with him knowing that he cheated on you, and you're gonna still be mad at him, girl, maybe you need to look at yourself, look at what you're doing, and kind of like fix your personality. Because a lot of the time that's the reason, is because of your personality and how you treat this person. You're not gonna be in a healthy relationship if you keep arguing about this piddly diddly fucking dumbass shit. Like, if your partner cheated on you, in my opinion, and you're gonna go back and have sex with him while arguing with him, just stop the arguing, take a look at what you're doing, you know, take an inner look within and kind of understand, you know, from their perspective, would you like you? Would you like you arguing all the time? Probably not. Would you like the jealousy, the all this and that? You know, you probably understand why this person did that, and you just don't want to understand. But you need to, sometimes people don't want to fix themselves, but you need to do that. If you care about somebody, you need to use forgiveness, and you need to take a look within and fix yourself. Because a lot of the time, it is you. I'd hate to say it, a lot of the time, like these women especially, I know, I'm a woman. I used to be a fucking cunt. Trust me. And I know that. And that's why I was single for years. Is because I wanted to spare people of my bullshit. Because I didn't like the drama. I don't like drama just as much as the next person. I hate it. And you know, if someone does something that hurts you or bothers you, but you still love them, don't keep arguing with them. You know, just try your best to be understanding. And then use the power of forgiveness. Because all that arguing isn't going to solve anything. I think you need to just grab their hand, tell them you love them even though they hurt you, and hopefully, you know, you can take a look within and see what you did wrong and then move on from that situation. And if you can't, well, then maybe you don't love them like you say you do, because I feel like when you truly love somebody, then you can really forgive